Welcome to our demonstration of the XPLM integration between SolidWorks PDM Professional, formerly known as Enterprise PDM, and SAP ECC. We'll be using just a basic development process. Let's have a look how integration can support an engineer's daily work. First of all, we'll demonstrate the integration architecture on the base of a simple model. After that, we'll walk through the demonstration process step by step and in detail. Finally, we'll provide a summary of the benefits of this integration. Our contact information will be shown at the very end. This is our example for a simple development process. Let's have a closer look. The engineer creates a new assembly and saves it in PDM Professional. Using the assembly structure and part data, the integration creates material masters and bills of material manually or automatically. The engineer creates a new drawing for the assembly or a part. Usually a neutral file format will be created automatically and saved in the vault as well. The file for the neutral format will be transferred and linked to the material master. Now, how does the integration become visible for a regular user in his environment? We see the integrated PDM Professional client in Windows Explorer. Let's have a look at our example assembly and where the integration actually takes place. The assembly consists of a small speaker, which is shown in the preview at the bottom left. The assembly has 4 different configurations, which we'll handle as true product configurations during this demo. The integration introduces additional variables containing key and control values for the synchronized objects. The variables and additional buttons are placed on an extra tab SAP, but can be configured differently. One possible way to trigger the integration is using the context menu, which contains access to various functions. In this example, we configured 4 basic functions of the integration, and we shall see them in action in the next minutes. Another option is the tool manual here, with a log onto and log off from SAP and information function. The layout and the multi-language description can be configured. Also, the integration can be triggered by using workflow transitions. Here we see a simple workflow used for assemblies and parts, which later in this demonstration we'll use for an automatic data transfer. But before doing so, we'd like to show you the manually triggered creation of a material master. We use the magnet as part of the speaker. As you can see in the SAP tab, the material number has not been set. We select the function of creating the material in the context menu. The first action of the integration is the user logon to SAP. Single sign-on is supported as well. The integration creates the material master and checks in the part file. When navigating to the SAP tab again, we notice the material number has been drawn from SAP in this specific case. With the View button, we can jump directly to the material master in the SAP GUI. We see the basic data of the material master now, its net weight and classification values. The assignment of the values can be configured. With the Edit button, we can directly change the material master in the SAP GUI. Here we change the unit and the weight and save our changes. Using the View button again, we see the changes we made. Now let's look at the option of changing a material master using the workflow. The starting point is again our magnet we created in the previous step. You might have recognized the missing description of the basic data of the material master. Let's correct that. The next step is part of the PDM Professional functionality. We check out our magnet and changed the description of the default configuration. Then we check in the file and save our changes. In a last step, we release our part without any additional check. The release triggers the integration. If desired, you can check the result using the View button on the SAP tab we've already seen. And here we see the change description in the basic data view. Now let's talk about the workflow trigger transfer of the complete assembly, including material masters and multiple bills of material. The starting point for this action is our example assembly and 4 configurations. The assembly and parts are checked in. As with the magnet before, the assembly is released without any further checks. The integration creates or updates all material masters and bills of material for our configurations. If you use configurations for other purposes, perhaps for viewing specific states of a machine or reduced views for a presentation, you can use an indicator to control whether a configuration is relevant for SAP or not. Again, in this example, all 4 configurations are relevant for SAP. Let's have a look at the SAP tab. Look at the material number while configuration is changed. Each one has received an individual number. We already know the direct access to the material, which is available for the bill of material as well. The integration asks for the configuration we are interested in. In this case, we see the quantity-based view of the BOM. Other views can be configured too. Now we'd like to demonstrate a typical process for the creation of a drawing. Again, we use our magnet and open it in SolidWorks. Here we see the magnet in the PDM plugin in SolidWorks. And we can use some integration functions, for instance the display of a material master. We start to derive a drawing from the part. We choose the format and create 2 simple views on the page. As a later step, we add a smart dimension and also change the units for the value being displayed properly. Okay, we are almost done. We just need to add a description and to save the drawing in PDM Professional. In this preview of the data card we can see the material number has been copied from the source part. To check in our drawing, we use the PDM plugin. This step can also be done in the PDM client, depending on the preferred method. Again, we use the plugin to release the drawing without any checks. This triggers a background task converting the drawing into a PDF, which is standard PDM functionality. We close our drawing and return to PDM Professional. Using the administration view, we can verify the task list of the server, which for this demo is the same computer, but would in the customer's environment usually be a dedicated server. Meanwhile, the PDF has been created and saved in the vault. An automatic transition triggers the integration and creates a document. There is no interaction needed by the user. The data card for the PDF contains an SAP tab too. It contains the document keys and the copied material number. We can check the document link in our material master. Using the click navigation, we can navigate to the document and recognize the checked-in file as well. Using the View button in the GUI, every user in SAP has access to this document and file. Even in the document, you can see the link to the material. Using the integration into SAP, we can support change management, which is not available in PDM Professional. Let's see how the integration process works for changing a small part. Again, the magnet is our example. There is no change number and the change flag is not set. The workflow transition initiates the change. After the transition has been completed, the change flag is set automatically. We open our magnet in SolidWorks and check it out. We make a simple change in this parametric model by changing a dimension. Immediately the change is visible. In addition, we want to change the drawing and open it, including a checkout. By analyzing the association of model and drawing, the change is recognized and the drawing is changed automatically. As before, the plugin is used for the check-in of the part and the drawing. After our changes are done, we change the state and request an approval. Again, the transition triggers the integration, which creates a change master in the background. Now we close our models and return to PDM Professional. On our SAP tab, we can now see a new change number, which we can inspect in the SAP GUI as well. We see a simple engineering change master with a current valid from date. While expecting the check to be positive, we go back to PDM and release the part and drawing. As usual, the release triggers the integration. The release starts the task server again, creating a new revision of the PDF file, which is transferred automatically. Even this document has the same material number and is available in revision B. This is mapped to the document version in SAP. Let us have a closer look. With respect to the change, the material master is now changed to revision status B. In addition, the new document version is assigned to the material master. How this is set up exactly depends on the individual customer's process. Now we'll demonstrate another change process using the assembly. Using the template function in PDM, we create a simple change document. It'll be the placeholder for the change master in SAP. This is a simple data card where we'll add a description. After confirming the card, a simple RTF document is created, which we want to edit in the next step. In this example, we add a picture for a better description of the change and its reason, but any other kind of information could be used instead. This depends on the customer-specific change process. After editing, the document is checked in and we change the status. Again, the workflow transition triggers the integration and the data transfer to SAP. We can go back to the SAP tab and use the View button. The integration used the description we entered and the reason for the change. We also transferred the document as an accompanying document for the change master. After returning to PDM, we can use the change number just by copying it. We begin our small change using the speaker, which was set to a change state and is checked out already. We open the speaker in SolidWorks. Now we use our copy change number we created before and enter it into the change number field. Now we change the model by adding 2 magnets. We check our model and use the check-in function in the plugin, followed by a workflow transition. After updating the change information, we can close our model in SolidWorks. Remember, this is just an example of a change process implementation and needs to be adopted to a customer project. After checking the assembly, it is being released and the well-known mechanism for the data transfer takes action. Material masters and bills of material are updated with reference to the change number depending on the configuration. After the release, we navigate back to our SAP tab and use the View button again to display the bills of material. We select the configuration we changed and confirm. We can see the changed quantity of 3 in this overview. The change has been implemented. Finally, let's summarize the advantages of an integration between PDM Professional and SAP ECC. The first benefit is the data quality. Data quality is improved by avoiding manual data maintenance in SAP ERP. Existing data is reused in Enterprise PDM, manual entry, automatic or derived from CAD model. Secondly, engineers are better supported. Workload for engineers is reduced by using automatic data transfer and workflow, for example upon releasing an assembly. Release and change process is integrated using change management, including version and revision. Furthermore, we've got a minimal TCO. No or minimal training is needed when using automatic data transfer and workflow, as no manual action is necessary. Standard functions can be configured by the customer, for example new fields for the material master. And last but not least, flexibility is increased. The transfer processes, language settings and data customer extensions to extended requirements in .NET VBA or C# are configured flexibly. We hope you enjoyed our tutorial. Thank you for watching.